Hello, hello. I am so excited to be here today. I'm just going to check on my phone that the sound sounds okay and everything is coming through. Looks like it's taking a minute on my side. Of course, with lives, there's always some fun technical difficulties. Let me try again. All right, let's see if it's coming up. Oh, of course. YouTube has to show me out. Happy Friday, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to jump right in. Okay. Just making sure that everything is up and running. Thank you for joining me. Happy New Year. I do just want to say briefly, I am thinking about all my California, LA folks. I used to live in LA, so it's very palpable what is going on there. And you can donate to the Salvation Army if you're looking for ways to help. If they are helping actually the evacuees. So if you just wanted to know how you could make a difference, I just wanted to start by saying that. And my heart and prayers is with anyone that has family that's affected, or if you yourself is affected. I do want to be conscious of what's going on in the world, even though we do have some big goals to reach this year. So I'm going to jump right in for respect for those joining on the replay. I have a lot to share with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. How do I add this one? It's been a while since I've been on here. Let me see. There we go. Making myself smaller. So we are going to go over our 12-week challenge today. Session 1 is all about rapid setup and strategy. So let's get this thing started. So just a little bit about me. If you're new here, I'll quickly give my brief intro story. I have always been a person that's been productive and busy and had big goals. But in the beginning of my life, especially early 20s and early grad school, I was basically a burned out hustler. I would work really hard, be busy for busy sake instead of intentionally. I would have seasons of burnout that would occur almost annually, if not quarterly, that I even came to expect because I was just at the time calling them nervous breakdowns so much, just from go, go, go all the time. By the grace of God, I say that I was always pulled back to my larger vision and my purpose after those seasons of burnout. But I did eventually come to wanting to create a sustainable hustle. This was when I first started grad school in my 20s. I started doing a lot of research on achievement psychology and how to create a sustainable hustle. I started blogging about it back in the days when blogging was really popular. Then started my YouTube channel, started my first business, Conscious Life Shop, which was about meditation and helping folks really have that space to, yes, achieve your goals, but do it in a way that's sustainable. So I've been talking about this for quite a few years. Once I had like a system that worked for me, I started coaching women, a program that I used to have that I no longer do called Dream Life Academy, helping women turn their dreams to realities and basically using the formula that I was using. And then once I found myself a mother, when I became a mother, I found it a lot harder to apply a lot of the things that I was teaching. And I had to really become more productive and streamlined in a way that I could still enjoy the journey. So all the things that I was already teaching, even more so, came more about intentionality and enjoying your dream life, enjoying the journey, and doing the way as efficient as possible. If you are a mom out there, you understand. So how to do that in a way that we can, really focus on enjoying our lives, but still meeting our goals. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm also a neuropsychologist. So a lot of my work is infused with psychology and neuropsychology, particularly. So you'll probably see that in my content and here as well. So let's move on. Enough about me. I do want to preface and set the stage that this challenge is really about moving from feeling scattered and overwhelmed to showing up strong and intentional. It's really about doing. It isn't about the theory. If you want more of the theory and like learning what the 12-week year is, the last live workshop that I did is going to be perfect for you if you're brand new to the 12-week year. I suggest you maybe watch those, kind of catch up. Because it's called Get 2025 Ready with Me. I think it was 4 workshops. It's on my YouTube channel. This workshop is all about the doing, because I know it can be easy to sign up for workshops or read books, and we can sometimes get lost in the theory and the education and not actually implementing those strategies. So this is what I'm hoping I can help you do in these live sessions. It's going to be every Friday in January, so it'll be 4. I know on the sign up page it mentions 3, but it's actually 4. And so this session is where you'll roll up your sleeves and really start creating a plan that you can actually follow and implement, especially if you're new to the 12-week year. This is going to be helpful. And if you've tried it before, but you didn't really find that you got more done in 12 weeks than most people get done in a year, this workshop is actually going to help you be successful at it. So let's move on. I'm juggling 2 screens, so bear with me as I'm looking to the side. Okay, so I do want to briefly explain the 12-week year, though, so we can kind of refresh ourselves and get some context. I'm realizing here I can't see comments. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, here we go. Let me pause. Oh, bonsoir. Oh, someone from France. Happy New Year. Thank you, Liddy. Sandra, bonsoir, is saying as well. Are you also French, Sandra? Happy New Year to you. Then we have Daniela. Happy Friday. Greetings from Brazil. Obrigada. Praying for California for sure. This will be your first time, FG says, but expectantly hopeful in trying it. I think you're going to love it. It, for me, was transformational when I started implementing it, and as well as helping others. So I've seen it for myself be very helpful, but also for other folks. Happy New Year, Yappy. I hope that I pronounced that right, or Yappy, but I'm thinking it's Yappy. Okay, now I can see the comments, so now we're good. I can feel connected to you guys. Okay, so briefly to explain the 12-week year, the way I conceptualize it is it's really breaking your year into 4 powerful sprints. So instead of thinking annually, you're thinking more in periods. So you're focusing on more these shorter chunks, these briefer sprints. It helps you have more clarity. You procrastinate less because the deadlines are just more tangible, and you have greater follow through. Outside of what's given in the book, The 12-Week Year, there's actually a lot of psychological research and motivation psychology about when you are setting goals, the best time frame to set them for is 90 days, which the book kind of iterates on that research. So I want you to really see this as your secret weapon when it comes to your goals. Yes, you're going to set those larger goals. The book calls them midterm goals. I call them moon goals, because a quote from Les Brown, which he says, reach for the moon. Even if you fall short, you'll land amongst the stars. So I call my yearly goals my moon goals, and my quarterly, my 12-week year goals help me, or my star goals to jump to get to the moon. So I kind of think as each quarter as a sprint to reach some really big goals that will move me closer to those larger midterm goals, or as I like to call them, moon goals. So that's kind of an overview of the theory of the 12-week year. It's more than just breaking down your yearly goals into like 4 quarterly goals. It's more thinking about really pushing yourself and creating shifts in just 12 weeks, not just like a quarter of your yearly goal, if that makes sense. Your 12-week year is really something that you're going to focus on. You have those yearly goals in the back of your mind as you are achieving, working through your 90 days, but that quarter is really focused on the 12-week year. So I hope that makes sense. Hi from Canada. Thank you for being here. We are worldwide, as Candy says up in here. Okay. So to give you kind of an idea, let me change it over here as well. How I like to use my 12-week years throughout the year. And this is what I teach folks in my content. is to have an intention for each quarter and be, I guess, open and accepting for what that quarter's intention is for. I like to think of Q1, the quarter that we're in right now, as a quarter to decide on the seeds that you're going to plant. So I like to use this metaphor that each quarter represents a stage of growth. Q1 is about choosing the seed. Those are your yearly goals, and then kind of thinking more strategically how you want your quarterly goals to feed into that larger vision that you have for yourself for the year. So essentially each quarter is going to nurture those. But again, while you're in that 12-week year, you're just focused on that. So I'm going to talk about Q2, Q3, and Q4. But right now in Q1, I want you to realize this is all about deciding on where we're going to grow for the year. And I kind of think of it as trying on your goals. You're going to not be perfect at the beginning. I know we have this new year, new me energy, but I want you to realize that change is difficult. We are creatures of habit, and breaking habits and building new habits. It's more than just doing something for 21 days. Actually, research doesn't really support that. But anyways, I won't go there. It's more than just doing something for 21 days. It's about breaking old patterns. And some of those patterns are ingrained in us from years and years of building those patterns. Also, building new habits is something new for you. You might be pushing yourself to get out of your comfort zone. So I want you to be compassionate with yourself. Take it as like, you're trying on your goals. You're seeing what's easy for you when it comes to accomplishing these new goals and sticking to these strategies. But you're also finding out in this quarter what is hard for you, and that is a good thing. Do not beat yourself up. I know if you're like me, there's a lot of type A people out there that may be watching that may be hard on yourself when you're trying to move into pushing yourself and, shifting, evolving, quantum leaps, all those things. You want yourself to be perfect. But finding out what's hard for you is part of the journey. And you'll find that out in Q1 when you're trying on these new goals. Okay. I think I kind of beat that to the ground. And then Q2 is you're planting the seeds. So now that you've kind of decided on the seeds in Q1, you've tried them on. Q2 is planting time. You're really streamlining your efforts, and you're taking those learnings from Q1's challenges and you're troubleshooting. So if you find that, you set a goal to, do cardio every day, and you're finding, you're having a hard time getting on the treadmill or whatever the cardio is when you're on your cycle, you might troubleshoot, well, what can I still do to meet my goals during those weeks that my hormones is not really supporting a lot of energy that would make me still feel good? Maybe it's like, I'm going to go for a walk that week. I'm still going to do cardio, but I won't go as hard, that kind of thing. And so you're implementing those things that you learned from Q1 into Q2. And really kind of digging deeper. That's why I say planting the seed. You're really kind of getting down a little bit more. And then speaking of getting down a little bit more, come on. Q3 is about rooting down. So by Q3, so January, February, March, April, May, June, that's July, August, September. You have learned from those mistakes. You have been Q2 kind of troubleshooting them. Now you're really not only probably setting larger, more challenging quarterly goals, like 12-week year goals for Q3. You're also like really digging deep. You're refining your processes. You're pushing through those hurdles, and you're like, it's like go time, essentially. And it does require a little bit of push through because it's like past the half year set. I like to do like half year resets to kind of get back in the groove, almost like the new year energy at that point, to give me that energy. Kids are going back to school. It can be a lot is going on at that time. So it does require some focus. So stay with me if you want to be encouraged during that time. I'm definitely going to be doing that. And then Q4 is about flourishing. That's when you kind of find like things are coming together. Like you're seeing the benefits of all the hard work you're doing, all those quarters. You're celebrating your growth. And then in December specifically, I like to take a moment to step back. You're still doing your tactics, but you're taking time to reflect, to process, to, calm down, do a lot of self-care so that you can set yourself up to do that reflection on what you want to continue to grow in the next year. I just did a video on my whole process for doing that at the end of the year. It's like my favorite time of the year, December and January. And speaking of that, I will say that sometimes goal getters like us can get some flack about this time of year. Like, oh, it's just January. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's going to be in the gym now, but nobody's going to be there later. Or I'm not setting New Year's resolutions. Nobody ever keeps this. Like you can hear, I want to say low vibration people talking that way. Do not buy into that. The energy that you can capitalize on in January is so powerful. And if you use 12-week year, it'll be like that each quarter, which is great. But don't buy into the haters, because even if you do slow down, the momentum that you have right now is going to cause you to start things, and that catalyst will get things going. So even if your motivation slacks a little bit, you've already kind of started the business, you've already started the channel, you've already, if you have family goals, you've already signed your kids up for whatever the goal is. So you're going to capitalize on the energy and the momentum you have now, and that's going to get the ball rolling. So you're kind of already committed. So I just want to say that. So that's what Q4 is about. Click. All right. South Africa. Hi, Glenn. Thank you for joining me. Alexis, this is refreshing to see how it's broken down. I usually start goals at Q3 and get discouraged. No wonder. Oh, that's so interesting. Well, I hope you find this helpful, Alexis. Let me get my notes up. I have notes here just because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so I want you to also step into your power in 2025. Let's talk about the assumptions first before we go into commitments. So the assumptions are that you've created your vision. You've set your sun, moon, and star goals. So again, if you haven't created your vision, go back to my Get 2025 Ready live challenge. You want all these goals are going to be based on your larger vision and your larger mission, which I talked about in that how to do in that workshop. And it's more than just a vision board. If you need some just practical help with that, I do have my Mod Ambition Goal Planner that is a printable or physical. You're going to set your sun goals. So those are your 5 and 10-year goals. Like, where do you want to be way down the line? Based on that, you're going to set your moon goals, which are those 1 to 3 year goals. And then you're going to move into this 12-week year strategy of setting your quarterly goals. Okay. But some important prerequisites, I'm I did a bachelor's, I did my master's, and then I also did my PhD. So I've been in school forever. So I talk in university terms, and we always had prerequisites for courses. These are your prerequisites, your vision and your larger goals, but also your commitment. And those really the book talks about these things. I've added a few. Personal accountability. I really want you to own your goals, and I want you to embrace personal accountability. So strengthening your commitment, it revolves recognizing that you're responsible for the outcomes that you achieve. So rather than looking for external excuses for shifting your blame if things don't happen, or blaming things on life. Yes, life is happening. I know that. I know I'm a woman. I am an intersectional person of race and gender, and there's a lot of things going on in the world, no matter who you are. So I know there's things contributing, but I want you to own your goals. And when things happen, I want you to look inside yourself for solutions instead of relying on external circumstances to be perfect, because guess what? They're never going to be perfect. And especially if you're facing difficult circumstances, I want you to own it actually even more. Having that, in psychology, we call it locus of control, is the determining factor of people that are successful and people that are generally not successful, folks that feel like they're in control of their circumstances are more likely to succeed at their goals. And that can be change. You can look inside of yourself and notice, do I have a lot of complaining language? Am I, making excuses for why I can't go after what I want? And you have the power to shift that. It's not like a born with or not born with kind of thing. And then also maintaining integrity to your plan. Integrity meaning keeping the promises that you make to yourself. So doing what you said you're going to do, even when no one is looking. So if you said you weren't going to have any junk food in your house not to tempt you, you're not going to just go buy because nobody, is going to know. Let me just get this candy bar. Nobody's going to know, kind of thing. Really keeping those promises to yourself when no one is looking, and you treat these commitments as non-negotiable promises to yourself, thinking in those terms of integrity. Because I think even if we have accountability, like if you have an accountability partner, it can be easy to come to those things and maybe not tell the truth or not put yourself on the line. You want to start from a place of saying, I'm really going to hold myself to this standard. And I'm going to be honest with myself on things like my scorecard and stuff, because not doing so is not hurting anybody but myself. Also persisting through discomfort. If you saw my video on, I think it's how to stick to habits that I did, I talked about the stages of change. In the process of change, there's this theory of like we go through a certain cycle, and then we usually start out really motivated and excited, kind of uninformed optimism, essentially, because you don't know the challenges that come with your goals. And then once you kind of start learning the challenges, that motivation can go down. I want you to persist through that discomfort, because change and growth often involve pushing through discomfort. It's whether it's resisting the urge to procrastinate or learning a challenging new skill. Committed individuals don't give up. You're just going to keep trying, going to keep getting back on that horse, keep going at it, even when it feels like, what the heck is going on? Like, is this even working? Is this even worth it? Just keep doing it. Trust the process. And then fostering long-term focus. You want to break up with instant gratification and fall in love with delayed gratification. The book is marketed really great. The whole slogan of get more done in 12 weeks than most people do in a year. It's great. And it is true. I have seen it for my life, but we are not in control of the timing of things. We are only in control of what we can do. And if you're a believer, I believe that we're co-creating with our higher power, whoever your higher power is. And that means that we're not even though we're want to be in control of everything, we're not in control of everything. So I want you to be thinking long term. It might go like this as you go up, but just know in the end, you're going to get what you want. You're going to evolve as a person. You're also shifting into the person that you need to become to achieve your goals. And that type of change can take time. You're going to get what you want out of the 12-week year, but I also want you to be open to the benefits of growing over time as well. So in essence, you're going to start with your vision, but you also want to have that commitment as a prerequisite. Having your video recommended after this confusing, frustrating period for me as a type A person is so beyond refreshing, helpful. Thank you so much to all. Thank you so much for saying that, Celestial Seeds, and I love that name. Thank you for joining me and your feedback. I appreciate that. Okay. So let's talk about your checklist for this week. You want to have your goals set up. You want to determine your monthly strategy, and you want to set up your weekly scorecard. And I'm going to tell you how to do just that. And I have a freebie for you that I think you're going to like. So let's get into it. Setting up your 12-week year goals. Okay, so this is from my Notion template. If you don't have my Notion template, you're welcome to get it. I'm sure it's linked. But I also have a free PDF version that I will be selling soon. But for those that are signed up to this challenge, will get for free. And if you have my other free 12-week year PDF, this is like much better. It's like 27 pages. But it's only for those that are signed up. So if you haven't signed up and you're just here, just make sure to sign up, because I'm going to send it probably by the end of the day to those that are signed up. I'll put the link. Let me put the link just in case you haven't signed up. Here's the link. I'll be sure to put it before we leave. I don't want to get thrown off track here. Okay. Let's see. Like I did just get thrown off track. All right. So I'm going to walk you through this Notion template and then the PDF version so you can actually implement it this week. You're going to enter your top goals for the quarter first. And if you need help making your quarterly goals based on your vision, there are prompts within here. So you'll see this is where you'll enter this will be Q1 goals. There's also help with commitment here, and there's help with vision, and that's also in the PDF as well. So you'll enter your main goals here, and I'll show you. These are kind of the prompts that you'll see that'll help you get to those quarterly goals, those 12-week year goals. This is the same thing. This is in the PDF. This is what it looks like. This is going to help you set those quarterly goals. And if you have the Modern Vision Planner, it'll be even more streamlined for you. So part one of the checklist is really making sure that you have the goals that you're going to do for the 90 days. And then I want to talk about how you're going to break those down. So keep it simple, keep it clear, no fancy jargon. Be sure that you are writing them down. So put them here either in your Notion so you can track them that way, or write them, print out the PDF and write them down that way. Or if you use an iPad, you can just upload the PDF to your GoodNotes and do it that way. If you're nervous about the tech, it'll be really straightforward, even if you don't know how to use Notion. And of course, if you prefer the PDF, you can do that as well. So do that first. And then I want you to set up your monthly priorities. I feel like this is what most Notion templates or folks that are teaching the 12-week year are skipping over, which is like, because it's such an important process, is the strategy. So strategy is more than just breaking your goal into fractions of your quarterly goal. So like there's 3 months that make up your quarter, right? A lot of people think about strategy as just breaking that down into 3 months, like milestones, which is part of it. But the first part of strategy is thinking about how you're going to win. And this specifically speaks to those goals that are more business oriented, for those that you're doing a goal where you have competition or where you're trying to win at something. So for instance, this person has broke their YouTube goal up. Strategy, before you even go here, is thinking about, before you think about tactics, like what you're actually going to do, thinking about how you're going to win. So for instance, just a really quick business example is when Southwest entered the airplane space, they came up with a strategy that they are going to only use one type of plane. So they didn't have to buy all these different types of planes. They're going to use the hub and spoke model so they can just go in and out, and they don't really have to pay for like storing these planes. They're just going to go from place to place. That was their strategy. That was how they're going to win. So it's kind of like, a football team has their game plays. They have what they're going to do, the strategy to win. And then the tactics are actually going to do those things like individually. So first thinking about, like for this person, I want to gain their quarterly goal is I want to gain 100 subscribers on YouTube. Their strategy might be, I want to provide weekly videos that are authentically me and give information that no one else is giving in the game. That's their strategy. So I want you to think about that first. And then based on that strategy, how you're going to win, how you're going to be a disruptor, stand out from your competition, even if it's like a more personal goal, like for me, I have a goal of being more present. How am I going to win at that? I really have to face my anxiety, decrease my anxiety, and prioritize all the things that are important to me, like my family, like my kiddos, like my home, those kinds of things. So in doing that, if that's how I'm going to win, what am I going to do? So each time that I'm spending with my kiddos, I'm going to put my phone away. If I do, I need to know the signs of my anxiety. So when I'm triggered, I have the tools to know what I'm going to do, or I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to go to therapy each week, those kinds of things. So, first, before you dive into this part, think about what's your strategy to win. Hi, Shalita. Do I ship to Canada? I currently do not ship to Canada. I don't believe I used to, but it's so expensive for the customer. I didn't think it was worth it. But you can get the digital download if you're interested. Christy is saying, I love all this. Thank you, Christy. Is Matu Gwendolyn. I love the 12-week year in large part because of you. Oh, thanks for saying that. It's really humbling and highlights where I need to hone my focus. Love that. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So once you know how you're going to win, I want you to break that down into tactics, priorities. So priorities are what you're going to focus on for each month. I want you to devise this for all 3 months of that quarter initially, knowing that they might change and you're going to have to be flexible, but it's good to know where you're going. Can you hear me? Oh gosh, sorry about that. Yeah, my microphone died. Can you hear me? Just lost you again. Let's see. Oh, you can hear me now. Okay. It's probably not great, so I'll stay close to it. Um, Very clear. Okay, awesome. Sorry about that. I'm going to go through this again. Did you guys hear the part on strategy, how to win? Thank you, Anila. No. Okay. Oh, crap. I was talking for so long. Okay. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so strategy. Before you dive into this, thank you for staying with me, by the way. I apologize for that. Before you go into breaking down your goals into monthly goals and priorities, I want you to come up with a strategy. And basically, that's how are you going to win? So, a lot of us just think of strategic planning as just like breaking your big goal and just down into like these monthly goals, like as a fraction of the quarterly goal, which is thank you, Anila. Part of it, that's part of the process. But before you do that, you want to come up with a strategy to win. And I'm going to give you an example, like if you're in business or if you want to apply it personally. So, this idea of strategy comes from the business world, but it can be applied to life goals as well. An example is Southwest. When they entered the market, their strategy to win was they only used one type of plane, so they didn't have to buy all these different types of planes, and they used a hub and spoke model, so they didn't have to pay for planes just sitting on the tarmac. Okay, so you did hear me talk about that. So if you apply that to your life, you want to come up before you set your monthly goals with a strategy to win your quarterly goals. So if I was coming up with a strategy like this person for YouTube, the example that's on the screen, their strategy to win might be I want to come out with like weekly authentic videos that giving information no one else is giving. And then they base their monthly goals on that. If I had my own personal goal to win in my life, let's say my quarterly goal is by Q4, I'm going to be more present with my family. My strategy to win at that is to maybe decrease my anxiety and be present when I'm with each individual family member. That's how I'm going to win at that. So then my monthly goals are going to be based on that, like, go to therapy or find tools for my anxiety that I can do or learn to live with in the background as I focus on my values of being present with my family. So that's my strategy to win. And then my monthly goals are based on those kinds of things. So let's talk about this example. Here, the person has the goal by, let's say Q2 here. It says Q4, but I'll gain 100. I don't speak French. I need my husband in here. Je viens de ton notion and construct with. Yeah, I don't know what that means, Liddy. I'm sorry. Hopefully you'll translate it for me. I'll gain 100 subscribers on YouTube. Their strategy to win is posting weekly videos and amping that up that are authentic and high quality and giving information no one else is giving. So they think in order to do that, their tactics are videos, going live and finding a video editor so they can be consistent and make the videos more focus on making the videos more high quality. So for month one, and I want you to do this, I want you to come up with your monthly priorities, your monthly goals for all the tactics for that goal. So, and you want to do this as ahead of time so you can have that roadmap. So if this person says in month one, I'm going to post 4 videos. Month 2, I'm going to amp that up to 5. And month 3, I'm going to post 6 videos. I'm going to go live once per month the first 2 months. And then the last month, I'm going to go live twice per month to really like connect. And, maybe that's part of her strategy to win. Finding an editor, the first month, she's going to create that job listing. The second month, she's going to trial 2 editors. And the third month, she's going to make the final decision. So you are going to break down your quarterly goal into monthly goals, monthly priorities, but those priorities need to be based on not only on breaking up that quarterly goal, but your strategy, which involves more thinking. How are you going to be different? How are you going to win? How are you going to be better than your competition, especially if it's a business goal? And then basing those tactics on the strategy and the larger goal, if that makes sense. Okay. So I think I repeated everything that I said before. Let's move on. So this is the example that I just went over, but sorry, this is like the generic form of what I just went over by example that you'll see in the Notion template in the monthly strategy page. This is the example. And then in the PDF, this is what it will look like. Same exact thing, but you'll just be writing it, your quarterly goal, what yearly goal that's related to, and then breaking those monthly goals down based on the tactics that you have to reach that strategy, to implement that strategy. And again, I give you an example in the PDF as well. Questions on that? If anyone has questions, let me know. All right, so once you have your monthly priorities, your monthly goals, you're going to input your lead goals. Let me show you what it looks like in the Notion template. And again, if you like this Notion template, you can get it from me, or you can create it on your own if you want to do this in Notion or your project manager. Just kind of take a look what I'm putting in here. You can do it yourself. I do like tracking my lead goals in Notion or digitally because I don't have to rewrite them each week, but I do have the PDF version for you. You can also download the free PDF and then just implement it to whatever digital system that you use as well. All right. So you want to have your weekly tactics scorecard for each monthly priority. So you're going to take that first month, the month that we're in, and you're going to create a weekly scorecard that you're going to check. I do mine every Friday when I'm doing my weekly review process. I do that before I plan my week. So what you do is you put your lead actions in for each monthly goal. So this person each week, they're going to script 2 videos, post 1 YouTube video, and batch film 2 videos. So these are your SMART goals. Those are those things that you're going to do that are smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay, I'm just making sure I don't have any notes that I'm skipping. And then you're going to decide when you're going to complete them during the week. And then you're also going to decide each week you're going to evaluate yourself of how much you got done. So if you scripted the 2 videos, that would be 100%. If you posted the 1 video, that would be 100%. If you batched 1 video instead of 2, that would be 50%. Generally, the book denotes from research, if you're going to hit your quarterly goals, you want to be hitting at least 85% of your lead goals each week. So keep that in mind. That goes back to the integrity piece. If you're looking to be more disciplined, I do have a video that I did on that recently, full of evidence-based ways to increase your self-discipline. But that's what you're going to enter. And I want you to do that this week. That way you can have it for if you haven't already done it, the rest of the 12-week year. And this is that example, just larger. Confused, Gloria. Can you tell us how lead goals and tactics, et cetera, relate to moon goals, star goals, et cetera? I'm really confused. Okay, let me go back. So once you have your sun goals are those 5-year goals, 5 and 10-year goals. Your moon goals, which the book calls midterm goals, are those 1 to 3-year goals that are going to help you move closer to your sun goals, your 5 and 10-year goals. Okay, so you've done the vision work, you know where you want to go, you've set those yearly goals, those moon goals. Then you move into your 12-week year goals. So based on your yearly goal, and I would even think of strategy here, how am I going to win at that? You're going to decide, okay, for Q1, I'm going to do this. Yes, I use Notion, Patty. I have a Notion template that's probably linked below. If not, I'll link it. So based on your yearly goal, so let's say this person, they want to reach 1,000 subscribers for their yearly goal. And that yearly goal is helping them get to their more long-term goals of creating community of, I'll just use mine, ambitious women. Okay. And so their 1-year goal is I'm going to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So their Q1 goal is to gain 100 subscribers because they're just trying to get into it and they want to, have a goal that they think is realistic and starting. So that's the Q1 quarterly goal. By Q2, I will have gained 100 subscribers. Okay. The monthly goals are basically each segment we're moving into, we're looking back at the last segment. Is even more breaking it down, especially for those that have trouble like with executive functioning. If you're neurospicy, this is what's going to help you keep it on track. So you're just taking the larger ones and we're breaking them down. When you're setting your monthly goals, what I was talking about is you want to have a strategy. How do you think you're going to win at your quarterly goals? And then you make your monthly goals. So that would be your January goal, your February goal, and your March goal. Those monthly goals are going to be very specific to helping you reach that quarterly goals. So the book calls those monthly priorities. What are you going to really focus on in January that's going to help you get closer to those 100 subscribers? And so for that person, for the month of January, they're going to post 4 videos, they're going to go live once, and they're going to create that job listing. So it's that first column of task. That's what they said are their priorities in January to hit this quarterly goal of gaining 100 subscribers. Okay. Then, okay, these are their month of January goals. What are they going to be doing each week? So you can think of lead goals as just very specific, measurable weekly goals. You're just breaking it down even further. This helps your brain wrap around it, helps you stay on track with where you want to go. Your 12-week year goals should be specific, meaning like not vague. They should be measurable. You should be at the end of the week be able to say, did I hit this goal or did I not hit this goal? And then they should also be attainable, like meaning very like realistic. You think you can hit them. That's the A and the R. And they should be timely. So by end of the week, I will post 2 videos. They should be time bound. Again, that helps them be more specific. So for this person, their weekly goals or lead goals, script 2 videos, post 1 video, batch 2 videos, film 2 videos. Okay. And for each weekly goal, you're going to score yourself at the end of the week and say, did I get this done? And the book suggests that you should be at least hitting 85%. So if you said that you were going to, let's say, write 100 words. I'm just saying something so I can break it down by 85. You need to have at least written 85 words to help you get to your larger quarterly goals. So you want to be doing what you said you're going to do at least 85% of the time if you really want to hit that 12-week year goal. Does that make sense now? I hope it does. Okay. Gloria says, okay, got it. Sweden, hi. ADHD and ADD, so have hard time setting goals. This sounds like something I actually could do, but with guidance and step-by-step style. Yes. So I am a neuropsychologist. I work with folks with ADHD all the time, and I teach them this. I actually teach my clients this because having it broken down in this way helps that brain that's constantly distracted focus and stay on track with those larger visions. Focus is a big piece of it, but you don't have to have that organically, meaning you don't have to be born with it. This kind of helps you stay focused. If you don't like Notion, another project tracker can be used. Yes. So if you don't like Notion, download this PDF that you're going to get for free. If you have my old PDF, I updated this just a little bit and just apply it to whatever system digitally that you want to use. That could be X-Tiles. I just did a video on X-Tiles. That could be Trello, or it could just be Google Sheets. Like if you just want to input this into Google Sheets and use it that way. But the PDF will give you the guidance on exactly what to put in there, which will be emailed to you guys today. Are the priorities the same as the tactics and also different from habits? Okay, priorities are a little bit different in tactics because it's like your overall monthly goal. Priorities, the way the book talks to them, you can just think of them as monthly goals. Tactics are more those things you're going to do each week. So those are really specific, and those are things you're going to be measuring. They can be habits. They can be things that you're going to stick on with as habits as part of like your daily routines. But at the beginning, you're going to be tracking them as weekly goals until they become habitual. Will these PDFs be sent if we signed up just now? Yes. Anyone that signed up by likely 1 p.m. today is going to get them because that's when I'm sending them out. So hopefully you're able to sign up, and I will put the link at the end. Okay, so that I also want you to have. This is just an up close version of the league goals in the PDF. It's also really important to think about when you're going to do these each week. That way, when you're planning your week, when you go to score yourself, you're going to also put in your planner or your calendar, if you use a digital system, when you're going to block up that time. So you can, this is new to you. This is new to your schedule. At the beginning, you're going to have to be diligent about like carving it out and writing it down. And then when you get used to some of these things, it'll be more habitual. Okay, so action step, set up your system, sign up for the challenge so you get the free 12-week year printable. And I'm also going to be sending daily a brief challenge email to keep you on track. I'm not sending that into my entire list. I'm just sending that to the folks that have signed up. It's just going to be a little bit of motivation, a little bit of me in your inbox, just kind of cheering you on, rooting you on. So be sure to sign up. Okay. Let me see. I think that might be, yeah, that's it. Okay. These are the resources. We have our email challenge. You'll be getting those daily emails from me Monday through Friday. And then our 12-week, also Sunday, because that's my newsletter. And then your 12-week year Notion template you can use, or if you want to use the printable version and just either use the paper version or apply it to your own system. Yay. Thank you, Maria, for signing up. Awesome. Questions. I gave a lot of information, and I hope I didn't confuse anyone. Please let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to answer them. Next week, I'll show you what we're talking about next week. Next Friday, same time. Building your weekly execution habit, how to make sure that you're doing those things each week, and then how to track that. Spicy, very nice. I'm glad you signed up, Lanila. Awesome. You can get it. I will send it at 1 p.m. my time, which is about, I'm in Denver, I'm in Colorado time, so about 2 hours from now. Okay, awesome. Looks like no one has questions. If you think of questions after, you can always email me. I'll put my email here. I'm happy to answer those questions. Ambition.com. Yeah, I use both, Gloria, the planner and Notion template. That's how I'm a hybrid girly. I use both. So my planner, like paper, I used for like brainstorming my goals, processing everything. I use that by hand, even like with my YouTube videos. I start off by hand, and then I track things like in digitally because it's just easier once they're kind of developed by hand. And then weekly, like I engage with my system by hand as well. So my weekly time blocking, my weekly planning, obviously I go back to my planner. So that's kind of how I use both. Super excited for next week. Thank you. Oh, awesome. And thank you, Celestial Seeds. Awesome. So excited. Yay. And then let me put the link just in case I didn't do that to sign up, because I also have another free thing that I'm giving next week to those signed up. So you want to make sure that you get this stuff. Oh, awesome. Celestial Seed says, I finally got through the thick fog and clear focus now. Awesome. Yay. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for joining me. I will see you hopefully next week, and I'll be emailing you soon. I'll see you in your inboxes. And yeah, let me know if you have any other questions before next week. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Gloria. Bye.